Hey there, I'm Becky,
And I'm Lindsay.
and we finally hit record on our candid conversations around conscious parenting.
We're here to talk about all of it
Ugly parts included.
and share our raw experiences and imperfect insights as we're doing parenting.
Pretty conscious.
In this episode, the trinket became the topic as we recounted a novel and fresh rupture and repair moment between us. We talk about how we navigated it ourselves and, of course, tied it back to the rupture and repair process in parenting as well. All right, let's dive in.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm glad we're here.
Me too.
As always.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah. This moment feels not like weighty,
Yeah.
but I'm just glad to be back in it.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, it's good. It was. I don't think we're gonna, as trinkets,
Yeah.
we both agreed
Yes.
that we would talk about our first real rupture. I mean, I don't know if it was, whatever. We'll get into details.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like something.
Yeah.
It was a something.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny because I remember sharing with my therapist when,
Yeah.
a
few months ago.
Yeah. That, she would ask, oh, well, what do you hope for in your friendships? Do you want anything to change there? And I was like, oh, no, my friendships are rock solid. I'm, loving them. The only thing, if I could wish for something, would be, I kind of wish we had some ruptures so that we could, so I could guinea pig my new skills. Because conflict avoidant over here doesn't like to do that.
No, it's terrifying.
The only protocol I've ever had was just avoid at all costs any ruptures at all.
Make it fine again.
Yeah.
Quick.
So
yeah.
It feels really good to be on this side of it.
Yeah.
And it felt there was so much important about it.
I know.
Every step of the way.
I know.
So yeah, big gratitude for being here now.
Yeah. Same. I mean, big gratitude for all of it.
Yeah. There was so much vulnerability.
And I feel like even still, I'm excited to dive into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And have the opportunity to slow down and be
yeah. Because we kind
of the needs met.
And then you broke your ankle.
And then I sprained my ankle, so.
Not broke, just me being dramatic.
I sprained my ankle.
I know, we didn't have any time when we got to the park.
Debrief and talk at all.
We saw each other after,
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is good, and I'm glad.
So we'll do it in real time.
Yes. I think I wish I saw somebody having this conversation, and all of that said, I know it's going to be potentially clunky because literally I feel like I said it in my audio message too. I feel like I'm drowning.
I know.
While I'm trying to talk about it.
Yeah.
So there might be deep breaths happening in the between, but I know that all of that is welcome here, and
my heart is racing.
Yeah.
My heart's beating fast a little bit.
Yeah. And I know all of that is allowed here, and I love the opportunity to put it down, that it doesn't have to be perfectly full of ease.
Yeah.
It's so much when we talk about co-regulation with the kids and stuff, it's it's actually okay for them to see us not do it perfectly. That's way more attainable.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. And I think about too, when we talked about in one of our preseason episodes of just the beginning of our friendship, and that everything was very explicit and felt kind of pucky, and because it was all such new forms of communication for both of us.
That it felt a little scripted.
Yeah, and this kind of felt a little bit back to some of that. Just this is a new way of communicating through something like this.
Mm-hmm. Even going back to I'm gonna nonviolent communication it.
Yeah, I figure that we can throw in talk
definitely.
about the NBC stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to share?
No, you
go.
You
want me? Okay.
No, you go. I'll let you start, and I'll fill in things that feel important.
Yeah.
But I would love for you to kick the ball.
So we were planning to record this episode last week.
Mm-hmm.
Last Friday, right?
Yeah.
And just for timeline for people, today is currently Tuesday of the week after, so a few days later. And we were talking about doing it potentially in person, and then you weren't feeling
Like one of those
100%.
weird 24-hour
Yeah.
illness.
Yeah. And so then we were talking about, oh, like, let's do it virtual. And my husband, Tyler, was leaving that night to go to a bachelor party. So I was like, oh, as long as I can get, like, as long as we can do it after E's bedtime, then, like, great. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And that was around like 5:30. And then my mom came over.
Eye
Taking a big
contact.
breath.
I'm being so sensitive to make sure that you don't feel like I'm staring you down and like
I feel, yeah, it's okay.
I imagine there may be multiple check-ins back and forth.
Totally.
I'm feeling fine. Enough.
Great. Fine enough is safe enough.
Yes.
So my mom ended up coming over that evening. We've been like pretty buried at our house. My mom came over to help me declutter our house, like start helping declutter the house, because we've just been kind of buried and I've been just like kind of overwhelmed with all sorts of things. And so she came over and we kind of just like got deep in it and like lost track of time. And then by the time that my mom ended up leaving at like 8:15, 8:30, I was like, okay, I'm just starting to put like E down. And now I'm feeling exhausted because that was it. And I just texted you at that point, like, hey, is it okay if we reschedule? I don't remember exactly what I said. If it feels important, we can totally.
I think it was just like, gah, my mom is just leaving now. I'm just trying to get you to bed. Will it totally throw things off if we push to tomorrow night?
That's right. Yeah.
Was kind of, I think.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
That is what it was.
My brain.
Your brain knows.
I see it. That's what it was.
That's sounding right. And so I had sent that, and then I think you said I didn't even. You didn't respond that night. No. Okay.
No. I was already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like through the weekend, you had just like sent me a text of like, hey, let's do Monday or Tuesday if that still works for you.
Yeah.
With a lot of lies on the hey.
Trying to soften the more curt tone than normal. It feels good to talk about it.
I know.
Better out than in.
Yeah. It is like,
and it's like,
it is so weird because it's never been okay to like actually put these things out there.
Yeah.
And it is here.
I know. Like so out there.
So weird.
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. We're doing great.
Yeah. And then like I had kind of texted you to be like, hey, miss you, like just because we normally are texting, you know, every day.
Yeah.
And
I think I had sent you a video of of baby Henry.
Yes. Yeah.
Doing something adorable.
Yeah. And so I think I responded to that.
Trying to like lob little something.
Like connections.
Yeah.
So I like responded to that and then was like, hey, I miss you. I feel like we haven't gotten any like one-to-one time. Like, how are you? And then you like didn't say anything, and which like, I mean, there have been periods where we like miss texts or you know, because we're busy or whatever. We can get into this later, but like I kind of had a feeling that there was something going on. And then Sunday night.
That seems right.
You texted pretty late.
Yeah.
Were you assuming I was asleep?
I was. I knew that you guys had the I had known at one point in that day that you had it. But yes, the assumption was like, she'll read this in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you had sent me a text sort of just being like, hey, sorry, I've been a little MIA. I've been triggered and wanted some of like the big emotional.
Yeah, I wanted to feel more settled.
Yeah. More settled.
Yeah.
But like I'd love to guinea pig a like Rupture end repair situation.
Yeah, if you're open
And
to
like
it.
conflict resolution.
Yeah.
That's what you said. Yeah, conflict
Yeah.
resolution if you're up for it, assuming you're reading this Monday morning.
Yeah.
And so I responded because I was awake and we had just
Mhm.
gotten back from the concert. Like, hey, just got back from the concert. Like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'll reach out to you in the morning. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Because I was like, I went the next morning to text you, but then you had said I'll reach out, and so I was like, okay, I'll wait until she's ready. Because you had like committed to reaching out.
Yes.
And so I like wanted to honor that, like, when you were feeling ready for it. Do we want to like jump into the next? So Monday morning comes and you text me
Mhm.
and um you you just jumped right in with like a 11-minute audio message.
Yes, I did.
I loved it. um and do you want to share a little bit about like your
Yeah, I think
experience and like
I
at
feel
this
like that would
point?
feel better than like making you deliver my
Yeah.
my feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of went right in with like, hey, I've tried to record this a number of times. But also, thank you so much for responding right away.
Mm,
Like that what being up, I was not I intentionally waited until I was like gonna be okay
yeah.
with like whatever timeline was working for you for responding because I like it's a big I mean, I know that for us what's true is that it's big
Yeah.
to like have a potential conflict
Yeah.
in our relationship. And so like I didn't want to yeah, I I wanted to give you plenty of like time and space and like wanted to make sure I didn't send it until I was in a place where I could receive whatever timeline you needed to respond.
Yeah.
And my heart really appreciated like the reassurance of like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely yes.
Yeah.
In the morning. I'm exhausted.
After I sleep.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, when I did record the message, just like, hey, I've tried to record this a couple of times. I'm gonna trust that I don't need to over communicate every little thing to justify my feelings. I know that I let you know that I was feeling like shame about even having the feelings that I was having
Yeah.
and that like I had tried to justify myself out of even bringing it up because I was like this is totally a my default mode would be to sweep this under the rug.
Yeah.
No big deal. I have feelings. I'm going to just sweep it under the rug and deal with it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I think what I said to you in the message was like, and I know that in the past, when I've done that for the sake of relational harmony, at a certain point, the relational harmony becomes inauthentic. And it's just all of this stuff that I have repressed. And then it's just all there. And then it comes out at weird times. And I also made sure that I let you know that like my feelings were not just about what happened in that moment.
Yeah.
It's absolutely one of those things where it's like if it's hysterical, it's historical. There's so much more baked into it than just like what happened between you and I. The simple, and I think I tried really hard to like lead with less context of like the nonviolent communication version.
Yeah.
I noticed that when we had these plans that I thought were kind of set I knew it was like a tentative plan, but not receiving any communication that it was like, nope, that window is closed. Like after the window had already closed, because from my perspective, it was like, okay, 5:30, we're talking, hey, can you do 8 or 8:30 after M goes to bed? Oh. Yep, I can.
Oh, after E goes to
bed. Oh. Sorry.
Can we do?
So like at 5:30, it was this kind of, hey, can you do 8 or 8:30 after E goes to bed? And I was like, yep, as long as I'm not puking, I will be there. Yeah. I can do it. I'm committed as long as I'm not like so sick. And then there was just no communication. And so I had just assumed no news was good news and that I would hear if it was no longer going to work for you. And then I didn't get a text until it was like 8:45. And I was like, I and I shared with you that like I just felt kind of like embarrassed and silly because I had that like waiting by the phone feeling because I was like cleaned my room up. So we were so
Yeah.
I was like ready and I had like sent like the kids out with my husband on a walk like leading up to 8 so that I was ready. So if you texted me at 8, I was ready to go and
Yeah.
I can get set up in 10 minutes to be ready to go and everything. And so I just had this like staring at my
Like, oh.
which like just not and so like I brought up to you it's like I felt hurt
Yeah.
because for me what was going through my head was like man it takes 10 seconds like write me I'm not upset that you can't.
Yeah.
I'm not upset that the opportunity didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the communication piece that like hurt because my needs for like consideration
Mm-hmm.
and clear communication just weren't met.
Yeah.
And so hard because it was so easy and it has been so easy in other relationships or even other moments where it like actually was fine was that like I know your intention was not to
Yeah.
hurt me in any way or to like yeah do anything that like led to feelings coming up in me. And the reality was I was sitting on it 3 days later
Mm-hmm.
and it's still here.
Yeah.
And like and to not say anything felt like self-abandoning at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know that our relationship is such that you care what my experience is
Mm-hmm.
and that you want to know what's real here.
Yeah.
I know that in some relationships that's not the case and that it is just let's have the performance of relational harmony and that is the preference.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And I know that that's not what's here. I
Yeah.
know that what's here is I want to know it's real for you and I want to do the vulnerable things with you. And so it felt like a really good opportunity to be like, okay, I could take the default path and just, bleh, and maybe it'll be fine. Maybe it'll never come up again.
Yeah.
And like the feelings will just alleviate on their own. But the thing was, like, I wanted to get back to this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to show up to the next park play day or the next lake visit or whatever
Yeah.
and have this thing between us that I hadn't said.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like wanted to bring it up. Like,
Yeah.
and there wasn't, I don't even know that I was able to really like put in a request
Mm-hmm.
because I think the request piece of it is just like likely what you had already intended to do and it just didn't happen that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to pause there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you take it from there. What feels important to you
Yeah.
next?
First I just wanted for anybody who's listening who maybe doesn't know the NVC framework.
Yeah,
Are you willing to?
I abandoned that. As
Yeah,
I was
that's
telling
okay.
The story,
Are
but
you
yes, I
willing to
can
put
talk
the
about those
NVC
steps.
framework, and then we can also just like put the because
Yeah.
I think there's like a 1-pager from
Yeah, I'll
NVC.
put it in the show notes.
Cool.
But like the 4 basic steps. It's like first share a neutral observation.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed. I observed neutrally. I noticed that when this scenario happens, i.e., your behavior, somebody else's behavior, and it doesn't have to just be in these scenarios,
Yeah.
but conflict resolution strategy, you know? So, I noticed that when you do X,
Mm-hmm.
I feel, I statements, I feel Y, making sure that when we're talking about feelings, we're not using faux feelings, like things like abandoned, rejected, things that are like actually an assumption about what the other person's intent is.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the faux feelings.
Yeah.
So we're looking for, I felt embarrassed.
Yeah.
I felt sad.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of I felt dismissed, I felt rejected.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a distinction, definitely. I can actually list. I have a resource
gonna
that's
say.
like the faux feelings.
Yeah. We can put the show
I can
notes
put
too.
some of that in there too. So I noticed when you do X, I feel Y
Mhm.
because my needs for Z were not met
Mhm.
or were met. This could also be a positive
Yeah.
sign. Like you can also share in positive
Yeah.
scenarios, reflecting somebody. But because my needs for blah were not met.
Mhm.
And I guess this is step 5.
Mhm.
Would you be willing to? And then you make a request.
Mhm.
And the request is not a demand. Like
Mhm.
the request for nonviolent communication, it has to be an actual request. Like,
Mhm.
are you willing to? And then a yes or a no
Which then
would be
ties back to like
acceptable.
spectrum of consent of
Yeah,
like, are you willing to do
totally.
this? And then it can become a conversation about, well, maybe not in that
Yeah,
flavor, but this flavor.
yeah. And this is obviously not the extent of the conversation, but it's a great starting point.
Yes.
And when the other person can then say, I noticed when you said that,
Yeah.
I feel blah because my needs for blah are not met and whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it's a starting place.
And a really good thing to that's I always talk about like scripts and parenting
Yeah.
as things that like are a good jumping off point when
Yeah.
things feel so new.
Yeah.
And that like I loved when I got your message that you were like you started with I notice and then you're like here I am going back to NBC but I'm going to do it. And like just like going back to the very like scripted
Yeah.
because when something is so new and vulnerable and scary
Yeah.
sometimes having a framework like that can feel really helpful.
Totally.
And so that's yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
using that and then also bringing it here.
Yeah. And it
Um,
was totally, I mean, especially when it's something that's so, I was trying to be very intentional.
mhm.
And that's why I feel, I think I'll ask you.
Mm,
I'm feeling a little bit guilty that I like kind of withheld for that
mm,
time, but it felt important
yeah.
for me because I didn't want to. I was trying to be very intentional to not react at you
Mhm.
with all of the like there
History.
was so much history
Yeah.
coming up. There were things I'm feeling like that shame again of like why is this even a thing? But it's again my commitment to what's real here. This is my actual emotional experience.
Mhm.
And whether it's neurodivergence related or just being a human who's like allowing of what feelings emerge in me, I genuinely was feeling all of this
Yeah.
like rejection sensitivity and like struggling to cope with a change in plans around like my rigid expectations for what it was going to be, even though there was, and I acknowledged this in the message that,
Yeah.
yeah, I very well may have misinterpreted it as like more set than it was
Yeah.
for you. And because there was a blank there, I filled it in however I wanted to, which was like, oh yeah, it's going to happen unless no news is good news, you
Yeah.
know? So anyways,
The
I'm
reality is that
jumbling, but
the like emotional impact and like actual real life impact
yeah,
that it had on you was real.
yeah, yeah. But there was so much time
Yeah.
where I was just like ruminating, but the thoughts were not about you and me and our interaction. It was all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I call it like the mineral sludge that gets I think I already have
Yeah.
referred to it in an episode
Mhm.
before of like, yeah, it's the mineral sludge once you release the dam and like all this like built up silt and stuff has to come through before you're getting any fresh water through.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how dams work, but in my brain,
That makes sense to
that's
me.
the imagery. So
We'll stick with it.
yeah. Um
Yeah, I think that it felt like especially being on like this side
yeah.
and also having like the reflections that I did internally.
Yeah.
Um taking the space like makes a lot of sense.
Eh,
And like the only thing that I like feel sad about is that like I couldn't have supported sooner, but I also understand that like you weren't ready to receive
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
so like I trust that like just like you wanted to get to a place where you could trust my timeline, like
Yeah.
I don't feel any sort of like weird way like you like withheld or
Yeah.
withdrew. Like I know that that was you. Like I trust that you know yourself
Yeah.
and where you're at with that like emotional processing and settling so that
Yeah.
like you can communicate intentionally.
Yeah.
And if you would have come to me sooner and more reactive, I'm sure we would have worked through that too. You know?
Yeah. And I don't want
I
to do it
know. I
that way.
know.
And I'm glad, yeah.
Like this way, yeah. It I don't feel like any sort of weird way about.
Okay. I think what feels important to communicate is that my withdrawing
Mhm.
was in no way an attempt to manipulate you into reading my mind
Mhm.
and reaching out to me
Mhm.
and checking in because you could sense something was off. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
that feels bad.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people do that to me.
Yeah.
That is not at all
I didn't get
what it
that.
was. So,
I
okay,
didn't
that
get that.
feels important
Yeah.
for me to
Especially since
say
after I
that.
like in my
Yeah.
message when I was saying that like I kind of wasn't
Yeah.
surprised when I got the text.
Yeah.
That like I could kind of sense that I had
Yeah.
like miscommunicated, didn't
Yeah.
communicate. It's not even a miscommunication. It's just a lack of communication and um yeah.
Wellness. Or were you going to say? Oh, um, this feels very much like in action, the committing to the rupture that
Mhm.
we had talked about before.
Yeah. That moment was cool.
Yeah.
You mean committing to the repair? Nope.
Nope.
Nope. This. Sitting in the swamp for a
Yeah.
little bit of time
Yeah.
and it's bubbly and uncomfortable.
Because this is one of those scenarios I absolutely could have just instead said, hey, you want to go get ice cream? Hey, you
Yeah.
want to go like hang out 101? And I know that like getting together, we would have moved through I would have just swallowed the tension
Yeah.
until it felt better.
Yeah.
And then we could have proceeded without anything. And there's that tiny tinge of like,
Mm.
yeah, but I would not have had the opportunity to receive the understanding and the allowance to feel hurt
Yeah.
by something, even something that is kind of like tiny, but like
But it still
so
felt
real.
yeah.
And I would have not forged any new path
Mhm.
of, I wouldn't have made any steps towards it actually being okay
Yeah.
to just like bring those things up. And my hope would be that in the future, maybe it doesn't have to be like a full
As like
11-minute
weekend.
message. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that whole like earning secure attachment with yourself again
Yeah.
piece. And that's an area that I don't have a great track record with
Mm.
myself on that earning a secure attachment with myself. The whole am I a good caretaker of me? Because I have been historically very willing to self-abandon around conflict in particular
Mhm.
because there's a big part of me that feels totally relieved when we just avoid the conflict altogether.
Yeah.
And then there's another part, probably the fleshball. We won't talk about fleshball here, but
One of your IFS parts.
one of my friends, one of my inner friends, um, that feels the rage
Mhm.
of why does it never matter enough for you to say anything? Not you, me.
Mhm, mhm.
Me to me.
Yeah.
Why does it never matter enough for you to say anything when I feel hurt? Why does it have to be the big hurt to matter enough to even bring it up?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just, so thank you for being
Yeah.
a safe enough place for me to just like give voice. And also, thank you for not catastrophizing it.
Aw.
Because for me to just be able to say, like, hey man, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
My feelings got hurt by something you did.
Yeah.
That's less of a you made me feel. Anyways, intentional communication aside. For it to just be okay, for that to exist in our relationship and allowing it to just be a blip. And that if it were more than just a blip, I know that you would bring the appropriate,
Mhm.
like there's trust that you would bring the appropriate amount of,
Yeah.
but
And every time
it
that
was
it does
just great.
happen, it also feels good in that like we are continuing to build
Yeah.
that like okay, what I felt like was going to happen did happen,
Yeah.
and so I can continue to trust this. I have
Yeah.
more data points that I can
Yes.
trust what I feel like is already here.
And I hope that it's also a permission giving experience for like you, because you did
Absolutely.
this with me.
Yeah.
And like that, in that scenario, it was just like a misunderstanding. It
Yeah.
was just like a very like cut and dry set
Yeah.
out, but like you had feelings that were real and like
Yeah.
you held them for a while. And then like I was so grateful when you brought them to me. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just having, I hope that it's also permission giving too to like,
Absolutely.
yeah, we're feeding in, we are tending our little plant,
Yeah.
our little relationship plant really well. And I hope that, yeah, it feels, I imagine being on the other end of it, feeling like, oh, I can also share,
Yeah,
if there's
absolutely.
something like this that comes up for me.
Yeah. I think that's like one of the coolest things about like getting to do the like awkward part
Yeah.
together is that
Yes.
like we're able to sort of like do a little step, do a little step,
Yeah.
do a little step, do a little step.
Yeah.
And like because we're both putting in some of the work
Yeah.
for the steps, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're actually able to
Yeah.
go somewhere. Which feels, yeah, really, I think really good.
Yeah.
Um, are you open to me sharing like how I felt responding?
Uh-huh. Yep, sure am.
Just because I don't know, just having like the like very explicit talk about it like feels better than being like, oh, I sent you this like intentional message, but there was also like all of this going on.
Yeah.
Um, I was at swim lessons with E, and so she was swimming around. This was before I sprained my ankle, so I was walking around.
Oh, the good days.
Oh, the good days. Not privilege. And so I was like went over to the grass and was walking around, and I just like started like I feel like I start every voice message to you. I tell you what I'm doing, like
Love it.
where I am
Give me
and
the
what I'm
context,
doing.
set the scene.
Yes. um, but like I don't know. So I knew you were gonna text me in the morning, so I was like feeling like a little. I don't know. There's like some butterflies of like this is gonna be new.
Mhm.
This is gonna be new, and it's gonna feel scary, and it's gonna feel hard, and I hope I can do it well enough. And, like there was that feeling there, um, and so I like got your message and sent Emma off, and then listened to it, and as soon as I got it, I texted, or as soon as I listened, I said,
Mhm.
"Got it, received," because one of the things that you said at the end was like, this is so vulnerable, and I
Mhm.
just really hope you can receive it. And love you, dude.
Yeah.
And so I texted right away after that just to be like, got it, received, recording a message right now, but didn't want to leave you hanging.
Also big gratitude for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like, yeah, knowing that there has
History.
been history with like friends ghosting you. And so, yeah, recognizing just how vulnerable and brave this was to like do this when you've tried in the past and it has not been received. So,
And I've tried in the past from this place of
yeah.
like, okay, committed to authenticity
Mhm.
at the risk of potential disconnection.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it anyways.
Mhm.
And like I've learned lessons, like checking your capacity before was a big
Mhm.
step.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, are you in the place you could do
Do
this
this.
thing with me?
Yeah.
Because it's new for us. And we've talked about it
Yeah.
in the past. I think that's a huge part of the like, we laid the groundwork for this. This is not, yes, this is the first time. I'm saying first time.
Like
This
yeah.
felt new. Like me
First, like,
bringing something
real,
to the
yeah.
table for sure. First time me bringing something to, like, but we've done work on this.
Yeah.
We've talked rupture and repair. We've talked about what's important about
Yeah.
it together.
Yeah.
And so I
Mhm.
think all of that felt very important too.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm
Yeah. No, it's okay.
back away from interrupting you.
Um so yeah, I'd like sent the text right away and then sort of got into it and just like I wanted to acknowledge everything that you said and that like it all made a whole lot of sense to me. And acknowledge the impact that it did have on you, like the actual like physical impact that day, but then also the emotional impact. And I know your history. Like I
Mhm.
know at least some
Yeah.
of your history, enough of your history to like, yeah, hear. And I mean, you pointed it out explicitly, but then also just like hear how some of the feelings that you were
Hmm.
saying were being brought up, like were things that like are sensitive, they are tender. Um, and so just like wanting to acknowledge that too, that like I tapped into a sore like and I don't want to do that. You're my good friend,
Mhm.
you know. I don't want to hurt you. Um, and yeah, I think like just recording the message, I like want my first instinct. So like I also have like conflict avoidance stuff.
What a pair we make.
What a pair. Look at us go. Um and my first instinct is to make an excuse so that it makes sense.
Hmm.
Or like
Yeah.
tell you why I did it so
Yeah.
that you can understand
Right.
why. And that's not necessarily what is needed in that moment.
Yeah.
Because you could probably already deduce why and
Well,
that didn't change
I said
the
the same.
impact.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
said the same thing in my first message. Was like, and like I already came up with 15 different stories that would explain away,
Yeah.
so that I didn't have to bring it up.
Yeah. But the impact
But-
was still there.
right.
And there was a need that went unmet. And our relationship is one where we want needs to be met,
Yeah.
where like needs getting met matters.
Yeah.
Um and so yeah, I like was like, no, okay, I don't need to do that part because I are like we already
The
have
intent
this
is
like subtext.
established.
Yeah, we
The intent is established.
exactly. So I didn't
Yeah.
need to do that part. So like settling myself enough so that I could just be present and hold the feelings that were there for you and how
Mhm.
I had done that and apologize for them. And then I sort of got into like I something in my brain switched
Oh
and I
yeah.
like got into like a
Yeah.
self-reflective where I like started to talk about
Yeah.
me and I was like, this isn't what I'm trying to do. Like I'm not trying to switch it and be like, oh, woe is me.
Which was totally welcome.
Yeah.
And also only because like I know your intent and it was not, and you also called it out.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is here also, but like we're doing the
back
thing.
to we're back to this. Yeah.
But also that's there, so at some point.
At some
we
point in
could
the
also
future,
probably talk
yeah.
about that.
At some point in the future, I am also experiencing like some feelings, but it's not, yeah,
Yeah.
not anything like you're doing or anything, but it's just yeah, my experience right now in life. But yeah, I like noticed that I was doing that, and then I was like, hold on. I remember like stopping in the message
Yeah, you
and
did.
being like,
Yeah.
wait, this isn't coming out the way that I'm wanting it to.
Yeah.
Let me get back on track. I just like stopped and took some breaths in the middle.
Yes, I
Nice
love
like
that.
30-second pause. And just got back to it. Um but yeah, and then sent it off and then you had like a response back that you were like that was your
It was the it's hard to receive it. Is the reality. It was like 10 minutes of me trying to receive it. And like yeah, it feeling so I was just feeling so much. This is the first time that I've made it this far in
Oh.
like healthy relationship conflict resolution kind of stuff. Like, yeah, because I feel like the default pattern is to like, maybe I can make the first step happen, but if the other person is not
yeah.
reciprocating, I know that somewhere in NVC they say, oh, it only takes one person to communicate nonviolently. And I'm like,
Does
okay.
it? Does it though? Okay.
Somebody who understands NVC better and that part,
Yeah.
please contact me because I am not there yet.
Yeah.
Um,
Where, like, you're communicating non-violently,
But it's
but
like
the
I've taken the
communication
yeah,
between
and
yeah.
I've taken the first step 1,000 times
Yeah.
and not necessarily been received before and then had it, like, reflected back to me
Yeah.
or been met with something that I didn't then become overcome by in a way that I needed to either shut down and cut off
Yeah.
or go into that feigning,
Mhm.
that fawning and feigning okay with
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
yeah, it was just
It's
I
intense,
sent you back
yeah.
a lot of like
This is
it's
hard.
hard to breathe for some reason. And I'm feeling some of that now, but it's like it's 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 the whole
Layering it on.
committed to being here in it and not wishing away the intensity and the potency of the experience.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
all very on purpose
Mhm.
and I can tolerate it.
Mhm. It's, like, within the window
I'm
of tolerance
willing. I'm
still.
willing to sit here in
Yeah.
it because there's something bigger that I'm
Yeah.
working towards, and this feels like stretch,
Yeah.
not distress.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's
it's, like,
just in
then
the
it's
very edge of
the
stretch.
window,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
right before distress.
Yeah. Uh, Something that I wanted to ask you if you're open to it
Yeah,
is there anything in the repair or the way that I repaired? And I know that, like, the repair is also ongoing and, like,
yeah,
me making sure that I do communicate better and follow
sure,
up
sure.
on the requests that I am more than willing to do.
Yeah,
Is there anything in the way that I repaired or things that I, like, miss that would have felt better or felt more complete?
it's a good question. I think that one thing that we've kind of danced around it, but to just say it explicitly,
Yeah.
it was very, very different for me and in the best way. That when I brought my hurt to you,
Mhm.
that you spoke to the impact and not the intent.
Mm.
That was that was really important
Yeah.
because especially in our relationship and I think in so many potential conflict resolution moments you get stuck on yeah but that wasn't my intention.
Mhm.
Let me just tell you why you're wrong
Yeah.
about feeling that way.
Yeah.
Let me just help you to not feel any feelings.
Mhm.
And like that's what I try and do when I'm going
That's, like,
down
the
my default
default, yeah.
path is like, oh, let me just help you not feel anything unpleasant.
Yeah.
No, I can explain it to you logically, and then you'll get it, and you'll stop having feelings. So it was really nice
Yeah.
to be like, and honestly, your response and you attuning to what wasn't said,
Mm.
what I didn't say, but what you already know about me.
Mhm.
So many safety cues in that. And it was you inviting me more deeply into my experience of the impact
Mhm.
was so freeing
Aw.
of like, dude, I am allowed to be upset. And
Yeah.
she doesn't even want me to not be upset. Like,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. It's like, that feels so good.
Mhm.
And like, this is one of those moments where, like, if you think this whole thing does not apply to parenting, just
I know.
start over.
Yeah.
Because, dude, you just inviting me into feeling my experience more fully.
Yeah.
Wow. You're so brave. And, and thank you for letting me
Aw.
live, like, let me be there longer.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe that's the only thing that, like, if we were doing it again
Mhm.
next time, be like, take your time with it.
Yeah.
If you need more time, thank you so much for bringing it up now. If you need more time, whatever, like, that's totally fine. I'm also happy to hear about it again. I'm
Yeah.
also happy to talk about it again, especially for me. That's a very specific to me thing.
Mhm.
Such an external processor. It really benefits me to be able to talk out loud
Yeah.
to like through scenarios.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I won't talk about a conflict with the person who the conflict is with,
Yeah.
but that's also, I feel like, so beneficial if we can.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Because it
right
gives,
now
yes,
even.
because it gives us the opportunity. Like, I'm getting to hear more about what your perspective, like, what it was like
Yeah.
receiving that message and sending the message, like, just getting so much more color. Because realistically what it feels like when I'm doing the vulnerable thing to share with you
Mhm.
what is coming up for me that is like a potential little rupture conflict thing. I'm feeling so much the need to minimize it, and I'm just
Yeah.
acknowledging that in my language.
Yeah.
um Me doing that is offering the blank line to you
Mhm.
to say, hey, here's the line that got left blank. I am going to fill it one way or another, but I would love your input so that I can get like what's true from you. And I'm filling it in already with a lot of the color of like her intention is not like her
Yeah.
intention is kind and friendship and like relationship oriented and
Yeah.
whatever. And all of that is there.
Mhm.
But there's a little part of me that like,
Yeah.
that's like, hey, do you care about the hurt
Sometimes
in
like the
it,
actual like very explicit,
Yeah.
yeah, like we talked about that in the last episode with the self-repair, the like just the importance of even just like seeing the fact that there is a
Yeah.
rupture
Yeah.
is like can be such a big part of repair. I
Yeah.
know it is for me. Um and so yeah, I think that
Yeah.
I'm I'm so glad you brought it to me.
Yeah.
And like absolutely permission like
Yeah.
to continue to bring it, and like I'm glad that we were did this today.
Yeah.
And like
Same.
I would have loved to like I would have loved to have been able to talk about it a little bit. Like I was planning on like us having a
Yes.
minute at the park yesterday, but you
Yeah.
showed up 3 minutes after I rolled my ankles, so that kind of became the
Yeah.
center of everything.
We only got a hug in. And that was
That
post
was
ankle
it.
roll. Yeah.
um so yeah, absolutely. I think if there is more, when there is more,
Yeah.
if there's another thing that feels like a flavor of this or something different,
Yeah. And
I'm just
I
so
think
glad that you did.
in this scenario, and I think it's important to call out because I think it's so true with our kids too.
Hmm.
Sometimes the repair is like I'm not really asking. There wasn't really much of a request because what happened was just like a human moment.
Hmm.
What I'm really asking for is, will you witness my hurt with me?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which is like seems like such a small thing, but it doesn't. It's not small,
Yeah.
and it's not small for our
Especially,
kids. I just want you to
yeah.
see me and allow. I want you to see me here, and not so that you can hurt too,
Hmm.
but just so that you know what's true for me, so that you can see what's going on for
Yeah.
me.
And there's something about being able to rest with the person that hurt you, to be able to still
Right.
turn to the person that hurt you
Yeah.
and find safety within that, that is reparative, I think.
It's totally the do I get to be hurt by you and still in connection with you?
Yes. Yeah.
And can we do it in like a no wrongness place?
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing I even told you in like the response message.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even need you to feel bad or sorry about it.
Yeah.
Like, um, and I'm not sure how much of that is still like I don't know if it's even a people pleasing tendency.
Mhm.
It's like, no, I don't need you to acknowledge any wrongness. I think because I didn't actually attribute like
It as like
wrongness
wrong.
to it.
Uh-huh.
It's just, hey, this thing happened and it hurt me.
Yeah. And that's like the neutrality to it, is that
Yeah.
like it wasn't done with malice.
Yeah. Yeah. And so much of the work, that's why it took so many days.
Mhm.
What, 3, 4 days
Yeah.
for me to respond? I guess it was only 2.
2.5.
Wow. Speedy.
So speedy.
But that's why it took days because and I think this is a part that's really important to the rupture and repair process.
Mhm.
And especially when it's coming like from us to our kids
Yeah.
is like I have ownership in that too.
Mhm.
And that's why I really appreciate the NBC model is that I had to sit through a lot of emotional processing before I could even get to the point where I could fill in those blanks.
Mhm.
Like if I don't know what needs are being unmet,
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. It's not time yet. If I don't have a request to make, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I have a hard time labeling it as a rupture because it's not necessarily something that it's the part that there's not a very significant request for you to do something
Yeah.
differently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing with like our kids is that I think similarly, like a lot of the time that we are needing to sit in that repair process with our
Mhm.
kids, sometimes it can be hard to like flag those moments
Yeah.
because there isn't malice.
Right.
We are coming with the best of intentions when we're coming to our kids,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that there isn't some sort of relational rupture, some sort of negative, quote unquote,
Yeah.
impact on them, some
Yeah.
sort of hurt that
Yeah.
happens, and still moving through the repair process
Yeah. My
like deepens. Yeah.
Totally. My husband has a really hard time with in this scenario. You and only you own your intent. I cannot tell you what your intention was.
Mhm.
That's your subjective truth.
Mm-hmm.
And the impact is the inverse. Me and only me. Only I know what the impact was, and that's my subjective truth. And you don't actually get to tell me how I received it.
Yeah.
And so it's that is really hard, I think, for some people to grasp, and it's hard for me to grasp in a moment where my intent is all good.
Yeah.
I had to sit with Big Henry today and hear that the impact was because of what you did. Mom, I noticed that when you were trying to shut down my water play, make me wait until Middle Henry's turn is done, I feel rage and I hate you. And I'm sitting there, dude, my intent is just, and I just want to go into defense mode. You can hear it in my voice. I am just trying to make it fair for everybody. Can that not be good enough?
Yeah.
And that's what's so real for him, and what I ended up doing eventually. And he did not, obviously, nonviolent communication me.
Yeah.
But in his own way.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, he's bringing up, I hate you.
Yeah.
You're being mean. Okay, literally all he needs is for me to parrot back to him what he's feeling. You feel like I'm being so mean. Yeah. Right now you feel like you hate me. Ooh. And just to parrot that back for him and be open to more coming. He didn't need an apology. He didn't need all of the logic and reason I was trying to throw at him. He didn't need me to give him a light touch so he stopped feeling his rage.
Yeah.
He just needed me to hear him more fully and witness him with more openness and curiosity.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean.
Are you open to an observation? Because I was here for that.
Yes, please.
Something else that you did was you energy matched. That like he was coming at you with really big energy, and you didn't like come at him with a soft voice. You energy matched him of like when you were parroting back, and then he like kind of tussled you down onto the couch, and you went down with him. Then he tickled your armpit.
There was
you
a
like
micro indication of playfulness.
Yeah,
which was the predecessor to that.
Yeah,
he was not tackling me from rage.
Yeah, sorry.
It was like there was like that glimmer. Yes. I just wanted to put that, but you reflected back.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there was just the energy match to it. And that's like the attunement of like I am hearing how real this is for you, and I believe you. I think like that's such a big part. And like when you were talking about the impact and intent piece of intent being your subjective truth and impact being the other person's subjective truth, and vice versa in whatever scenario. It is that like believing the other person, which can feel really hard when we are so set in our story. And there's so many reasons that we can get set into our story. But yeah, just that I like anytime that I talk about like believing kids, believing that they know themselves, believing their feelings are real, just trust kids like it's their favorite thing to do. Do you want to elaborate on that? Or...
Have we not already? I thought it was
included
somewhere. Isn't it? No,
No,
I think I
did
did it in Home Glow.
Oh, okay.
I think I put it in my Home Glow
Got it.
thing recently. Yeah, Big Henry, he records these parenting advice videos and sometimes unprompted. I'll just catch them or like see them on my phone randomly. And his big piece. If there were one thing. Oh no, it wasn't even that. We had like it was right after the trust
Oh yeah,
conversation.
you had just managed to record a piece of the
Yeah.
conversation that you guys were having.
Yeah. And then we did another lap. And on the last lap, I was like, okay, if there's one thing I could do differently starting today, what would you have me do? It's like I think all parents just need to just pretend that your favorite thing to do ever is to trust kids. In any moment. Just pretend like it's your favorite thing to do.
Trust kids. Oh.
And the amount of times that it's yielded powerful reflection and like yeah. It's really important.
I'm just like
it's actually really solid advice.
Yeah.
Not that I should be surprised.
I know.
But kid wisdom is spot on sometimes.
Yeah, just this idea of like believing kids, believing the intensity of their emotions, not belittling it, believing that if they say that, like today, getting in the car on the way here, her car seat was too hot. Today was a mild day in Sacramento for a summer. Her car seat was not burning her. However, it felt very important to her to have the air conditioning on for a little bit in the car before she wanted to climb into her car seat. And that felt very real.
Mm-hmm.
And so not being like, well, I can tolerate the hot leather seats and yours isn't even leather, yours is cloth,
Yeah.
But instead being like, no, I believe that this experience that you are telling me is uncomfortable is actually uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I can find willingness to wait 2 minutes for the air conditioning to blow, and then we need to go.
And let's play it out. If you couldn't, if you needed to go right then, and you needed to override and say, well, even so, we're still going to put you in the car seat now and we're going to go.
Yeah.
You can still honor the reality of their experience.
Yeah.
Even if you don't accommodate the request that is being made right then and there because of their experience.
Yeah.
And it can come through the rupture and repair process.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man, back there, you told me. And I said, sorry. Okay. We're still going now. And I'm not saying that should be necessarily the default, right? Obviously, so much of this is about respect.
Yeah.
So much of this is like trusting the person who you're sitting across from that they know
themselves and that you want to honor that when you can.
Yeah.
And thinking back to spectrum of consent, that like, okay, am I asking you to tolerate or endure this thing? And maybe for me, that's not tolerating. I'm willing to sit on the hot seat, but for you it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Then there's some level of self-abandonment that I'm asking you to do or forcing you to do.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I like the spectrum of consent for helping to know when like a reparative process is needed. Yeah. I think that like really helps, especially because it sort of takes the intent out of it. And then if you can put it back towards like what is actually like believing your kid, what is real for them, and then just like taking their, I don't know, all the ways that they communicate their tolerating and enduring states.
There's something that's been coming up on my feed a couple of different times, and it's something along the lines of like our boundaries shouldn't inform their feelings and their feelings shouldn't inform our boundaries or something like that. And I have mixed feelings about that. Happily mixed. I've said it to somebody recently, and I think because it can be very easy to become overwhelmed by their feelings and just attune so much to what is real for them right now in any moment. And then we move into that like powering under and not giving them enough sturdiness that they need. Right.
It's like a callback to that episode too.
Yeah. And at the same time, it can very much flip in the other direction too. And so it's the respectful interchange. I'm just going to bring up my definition of respect.
Absolutely.
My working definition, because we
Yeah.
talk a lot about like what even is respect, right?
Yeah.
And because we're not talking about the performance of respect. We're not talking about behavior as respect.
Mhm.
I'm talking about true respect, and the two parts that I have settled on
Mhm.
being a part of respect are that you are trusting somebody else's wisdom of their own experience enough that you feel open to their influence, enough that it might change the way that you look at things. Not blind faith situation.
Yeah.
We're not talking worship here,
Mhm.
but that we are open to being informed by having something in us informed by
Mm.
you and your wisdom and the way that you view the world and everything you've learned from your experience. And so that whole like their emotions or their experience shouldn't inform our boundary. That doesn't feel respectful.
No.
That's not mutually then and maybe that's the underlying part of it, but like so much of my parenting framework is rooted in mutual respect.
Yeah.
And we can't demand that from our kids.
No.
That's the desired end goal,
Yeah.
hopefully, but we can't demand that. But it is respectful parenting is really about the parent actually respecting and treating the child like somebody who they respect.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't feel respectful to just say across the board, as though it's a rule,
Yeah.
your feelings shouldn't impact the limits
Mhm.
and the boundaries.
Yeah.
It's just
I
an
think, yeah,
interesting, it's just an
and I think
interesting, nuanced area as they all are, but
I'm glad
there's
you brought
something,
it up
yeah.
because that is really important that it isn't just like full on, like we don't let our kids flood the
Yeah.
whole experience, just like we don't flood the whole experience.
Yeah.
And as the parent, we have to have with the parent with the fully formed brain,
Yes.
like fully developed brain with the prefrontal cortex, have to use our discernment on the percentage, the degree to which we are fluctuating one way or the other,
Mhm.
and then also using our powers of self-reflection to look back on the situations and adjust as needed,
Yeah.
so that we don't end up too heavy in
Yeah.
one direction.
Yeah.
And I think that part of that is holding the bigger picture in those moments,
Yeah.
that being able to moonwalk away.
And let's bring it back, if you're open to it, to the water play example from earlier,
Yeah.
from today,
Uh-huh.
that led to that moment where Big Henry was going to, I hate you, whatever, and
Yeah.
we're able to move through it.
Yeah.
We would not have ever gotten to that spot if I had stayed in like power under, which is where I was sitting when
On the
the whole
stairs.
thing, yeah, of like, oh my God, I said, we're not doing water play right now. Y'all just went and did it. And then I just sat and like, and then it just got bigger and messier and and we weren't going to make any progress in that place.
Yeah.
I had to go into temporary power over just to move us through the moment of like, okay, Middle Henry, you're getting 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to help you transition to Big Henry's turn. He'll have 5 more minutes, and then we're done.
Yeah.
And, you know, unsurprisingly, when the 5-minute timer went off for Big Henry's turn, he was still all riled up about everything. And that's fine. He brought that in with him, but we never would have gotten to that point where he could actually address what was underneath, what the feelings were that were coming up,
Yeah.
what the impact of what I had done prior in the day was, if I had not stepped up and offered some sturdiness to let him know, hey, it's safe enough here. I'm going to guide us through this moment.
Yeah.
Even if it's like more forcefully now than I prefer
Yeah.
for us to be interacting with each other. But I'm going to come and do this. I'm going to temporarily power over so to move us through this thing.
We can't get stuck here because nothing good is happening here.
Yeah. And then I'm going to bring back in and part of that was also preserving, I only had so much capacity left.
Yeah.
So we were headed to something.
Headed to big rupture.
Yeah, something or another. And I was committed to doing no harm. And sometimes being committed to doing no harm means doing that thing and coming in with more powerful energy sooner, like we talked about last episode.
Yeah, the counterintuitive for sturdiness.
Last episode, I don't know.
2 episodes ago, right? Spectrum of Consent was last.
Yes. Thank you.
In the counterintuitive.
Me with the timeline.
Yeah.
The chronology. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's no small job.
No.
To hold all of that when you yourself are going through all of the feelings and the capacity and all of the components that are there in our day to day. And so I just want to call that out too, that like it's
Right, that
it
was
often
between me
doesn't look
cooking
like
4
that.
pizzas and trying to carry my baby and celebrate her birthday and
Me
host
freaking
you and
just sitting on a chair, unable to help. Like, I honestly have no clue what was happening with the water outside because I was inside and not able to like go out and support. So
all fallout from a previous thing. Like it was just yeah, it was just so in the midst of everything. Yeah, it was
mhm.
so, yeah, it felt like it took every ounce.
Yeah,
But
we got through it.
yeah,
And then he asked you to rip his pineapple to put on his
I know.
pizza, and you knew you were.
Then he asked me for an act of service, and we were good. We were good again.
It's nice to have those like flags of like. We're
But that moment, it's hard to look at your face right now, Mom.
okay. Oh.
But it's hard to look at my face right now. I hear you.
I understand.
Uh,
It's intense. Yeah,
so potent.
it's intense. And even if it were to have led to a bigger,
Yeah.
like something, right? Like it's work throughable.
Yeah.
It's work throughable.
And I think that's
If
it.
you commit to the rupture.
Yeah, if you commit to the rupture and the repair piece, I think that, when you were talking earlier and you're asking me, is there anything you could have done to help it feel more complete? I think the whole thing about repair that is so often like left to be desired is that repair is an ongoing
Yeah.
process. Repair is not a one-time thing, and that's the same thing that happened with Big Henry. There was no formal rupture and repair situation. It was just like, I care about what's going on in you. You
Yeah.
tell me at whatever pace is comfortable for you. I'll believe you, and we'll keep working on it. And that's all we can do.
Yeah.
And so it is just this, yeah, there's no finish
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
It's, hey, let me know if there's anything I can do that would help right now. I'm going to be taking into consideration what your impact was, align that with what my desires are for meeting your needs. And that's the other thing. To have this process be effective, you need to be working with somebody who cares about your needs being met.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, then like boundaries come into play. Like if we're talking
Right.
about like adult to adult
Yes.
relationships, that's like when boundaries come into play. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you don't care that my needs are being met or are not being
Right.
met. And so now I'm going to readjust the way that we
Yeah.
are relating to one another to help protect me. I'm going to get these needs met elsewhere.
And I think that that's exactly what happens when people get stuck in the intent part.
Yeah.
For a lot of the folks who are getting stuck in the intent part, ask the deeper question of like, and do you care about the other person's needs being met? Because even if that was your intent, the other person's telling you their needs are not being met the way that you're showing up. And if it's true that that's actually not your priority to help meet the other person's needs, that's really good information to know. That's really good information to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at least you can have the honest conversation then.
Yeah.
Even if it's just with yourself. But
So powerful.
yeah. And rupture and repair, it's not the burden of our kids to do that process. I just think that's important to call out because I think it might have gotten a little convoluted because my dots were connecting.
Yes.
Thinking like adult to adult and like also adult to child. I have to care about my kids' needs being met for rupture and repair to be a meaningful process.
Yeah. Yeah. That's in Circle of Security. They talk about rupture as like when the circle is broken. And they talk about like very explicitly that a child cannot rupture the circle. That only the adult can rupture the circle of like parent-child attachment.
The connection.
Yeah. Because the child is constantly in need of our attachment and connection for survival. And so that like the onus of rupture, and that doesn't mean that our kids won't do things that hurt us, but like the onus of responsibility for repair is not on them. For reconnecting is not on
we
them.
don't commit to the rupture. Committing to the rupture when it comes to our kids is not mean. Cutting off connection, waiting until they come around and repair with us. Although, I will say, as a beautiful side effect,
Mhm.
they do somehow learn really well how
Yeah.
to repair in a meaningful way. My kids are not walking around saying, sorry, after every time that something happens.
Yeah.
But what they do engage in is really meaningful when it comes to repair.
And like repair to me feels like when I think about what rupture and repair is, what is rupturing? There's a rupture in the connection,
Yeah.
and the repair is
Whatever
restoring.
allows connection to
Yeah,
continue.
restoring that link of connection in a way that doesn't leave pieces, or at least too many pieces, fragmented off.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
So I think that that's yeah, I don't know. That was always helpful for me. Like when I was first like, what is rupture and repair when it comes to parenting?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean rupture? The connection.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
And yeah.
It's very much like our definition of what's working
Yes.
and being in, if something's not working,
Mm-hmm.
just meaning that we're not in right relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right relationship is just connection. Yeah. Yeah. The pun feels very.
I know.
Thank you for being you. And
Thanks for being you.
We did
and for
something,
doing.
man.
I know. I love you.
It feels so nice. Like, I feel like what a gift to not feel punished for feeling hurt.
Yeah. And what a gift for not feeling
Thanks.
punished for like hurting you. You know?
It's really good.
Yeah, it is
It's
really good.
stuff.
And then to be able to like talk about the like
Yeah.
the awkwardness, or just like the clunkiness and the newness, and walk through it all.
And also, I feel like I didn't need to overly watch my words. Yeah, I didn't feel like I needed to soothe you or like watch my. There were many moments where I was like, I don't think this is the right word, but this is what feels alive right now, so I'm gonna say this and trust that you know my intent also.
Yeah.
And that
if I don't,
ultimately
then
the
there will be
desire is for us to
communication.
get back into
Yeah.
lockstep with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in right relationships.
Yeah. Thanks for talking
Good.
about it.
Yeah.
Man.
Thanks,
I'm glad we did this.
Me too. Do you want a hug?
Yes, I was gonna ask for the same thing. Oh, I love you.
Love you.
Oh, all right. Bye, everybody.
That feels so complete.
Oh yeah, we didn't have questions for the road.
No,
That's okay.
Maybe we'll come up with some. Maybe we will
post them, or maybe not. Who knows?
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, we know time is hard to come by. Thanks for spending some of yours with us. And remember, you can always reach out. We're real people, and we're interested in what's real for you too. Do you have questions or feedback? Anything you'd like to hear a chat on? Check the show notes for where to find us.